Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about for how long can you actually drive a Tesla Model Y, such as this one, before charging, coming right up. Okay, here we are. Let's jump right into the video. So this question was actually asked by someone on my YouTube channel, so I'm going to pull it up here. And the question was, and it was by MM. So first of all, I'm going to thank MM for watching the video and subscribing to the channel, and also by asking this question because a lot of people have the same question. So as you can see over here, the question is, great video, how many hours can you drive on a single charge? Would have really liked if you included that info since you were talking about range. First time on this channel, and thanks for posting. All right, thank you very much. So today I'm going to be answering that question. So now let's assume that this car right now is fully charged at 300 miles, 300 miles, because for a Tesla Model Y such as this one, it can go between 300 and 320 estimated range. So if you're driving within the city, now first of all, the overall answer is going to be it depends, and I'm going to explain to you why it depends. So you have a full charge, you get up in the morning, you have a full charge on this Tesla Model Y, 300 miles. And if you're going to be driving within the city, that is different. If you're going to be driving within the city, I mean, you can drive, let's say you're doing, for example, Uber. Give or take, you're going to be driving effectively about 250 miles. And I'm going to explain to you why I say that. The first thing you need to put into consideration is that when the car is parked with no activity going on, it's still using range. There's still some stuff going on. There are a couple of things that are going on. So if you park your car at 300 miles, it's not being charged. If you come back later on, you're probably going to see it's going to be less than 300. But it uses the charge at that point at a very, very low rate. So that's one thing you need to put into consideration. So clearly, if you're driving if you have a 300 miles range, you're not going to drive 300 miles range. It's straight. That one is out of the picture, and simply because even when the car is parked, it's using some range. And the second piece of it is your speed. So the car says 300 miles effective range. If you're driving and respecting the speed limit, that is going to save you some power. But because most people never respect the speed limit, if it's 40 miles per hour, usually people will go a little bit above 40 miles per hour. Just an example. The faster you go, the more the range you consume. That is going to be the second aspect of it. So the third aspect of it is you cannot drive until you're completely empty before you charge. So we're going to deduct that as well, right? So which means that we start with a 300. Let's give about 10 or 20 miles for the car being idle. Is going to use some electricity or some range. And then the second piece of it, if you're driving fast, let's give another maybe like 30 miles subtraction. And because you cannot really drive the car all the way until it's empty before you charge, let's give another like maybe 20 miles. So you see, effectively, for a long range such as this one, you can drive effectively about 240 miles or 250 miles before you charge. However, if you're driving on the freeway, that is different. And I really want to jump right here on the console and show you guys exactly what I mean by it's different. So let's jump right on. So I'm going to simulate, let's say I'm driving to Dallas because I'm in San Antonio, right? I'm going to type in here Dallas. Let's just say Dallas, just select one. Okay. It's going to pull up the map here. And right now you can tell that I'm 260 miles because I didn't fully charge it. And I only fully charge it if I'm going for a trip, which is like the recommended way of charging. If you're going to be going for a trip, then you can charge 100% and then you take off. But if you're going to be driving just within the city, like on your daily charge, it's not advisable to charge at 100%. You always want to charge at most 90%. Okay, so here we are. I can have a clear picture of exactly what is going to happen to the car while I go for this trip. So, first of all, leaving from San Antonio to Dallas is roughly about 4 hours 48 minutes, as we can see over here, right? 285 miles. Okay, so it's telling me that if I leave right now at 216 miles driving to Dallas, I'm going to stop in San Marcos, and I'm going to charge there for 20 minutes. So by the time I stop in San Marcos, the battery would have been at 49%. So I'm going to charge there for 20 minutes, continue on my trip. Then in Waco, I'm going to charge for another 20 minutes. Then by the time I get to Dallas, I'm going to be at 19%. Okay, so it plots it out for you. But however, this here is based on the speed limit. If you're driving at exactly the speed limit, then by the time you get to Dallas and, you know, at this rate, then you're going to realize that you're at 19%. But also remember that over here it said in San Marcos, you're going to charge for 20 minutes, right? The 20-minute charge here does not mean it's going to take you from the 49% to 100%. That's not what it means. The 20 minute is just you charge just enough to take you to the next destination, or yeah, to the very next destination. So what you can potentially do here is, instead of charging for 20 minutes, you might decide to charge all the way to 100%. Then it's going to remap or replot the graph for you. Okay, so, and if you do that, then you're going to realize that you're probably going to skip this Waco charging here at Waco, and probably you're going to get to Dallas with a different percentage. But if you were to follow this exactly the way it is and following the speed limit, then by the time you get to Dallas, you're going to have 19% battery left on your car. This is only going to alter if you're driving at a different speed limit. Probably if you're driving slower, then you're going to consume less energy. But if you're driving faster, you're probably going to get there at less than 19%. And then when you get to your final destination, and you can actually charge. So that is actually the main thing I wanted to pull up here. But this one is just for a 5-hour trip. Now, let's say you wanted to go for a 24-hour trip. Okay, let's say, for example, I'm driving from San Antonio to New York. I'm going to just put New York here. Type in New York and then hit enter. Okay, so if I were to leave from here and go to New York, the total trip is, we can see here at the bottom, it's going to be 1,843 miles total trips, which is about 28 hours, 2 minutes. Okay, so as we can see, everything has been plotted here where we're going to charge and for how long. So if I leave right now at 216 miles, the current charge that I have on the car right now, I'm going to stop Round Rock, charge for 30 minutes. So by the time I get to Round Rock, I'll be at 23% battery left. I'm going to charge for 30 minutes. I get to Italy, Texas, charge for 25 minutes. Get to Suffolk, 20 minutes. Texarkana, 30 minutes, and so on. So you're going to see, if you respect all of this, then these are going to be all your charging stations. And by the time you get to New York, you're going to be left with 10% battery life. So that is pretty much it on a Tesla. That is how you know about your trip. You can pretty much have like a whole history of your trip, where you're going to charge and for how long you're going to charge. And it's obviously advisable that Teslas are a little bit different from maybe a cell phone. Cell phones, usually when your phone is full, they advise you to, like, you know, unplug it. But with the Tesla, if you're not driving it, it's advisable to always have it on charge. So that is one aspect of the Tesla, because the more you charge it, the more your car gets used to the battery. So in my next video, I'm going to be covering how I almost got stranded with a Tesla because of a supercharge. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I do not want to keep this video very long. If you had some, if you enjoyed the content of this video and you had some useful content out of this video, please do not forget to give this video a thumbs up, hit that like, and obviously subscribe to the channel, because this is a way you can support the channel. And until next time, I am out. I'll see you guys. Bye.